Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 13 of Mikki's Musings and Readings. This week I want to share with you something that is very close to my heart, and also some important lessons that I learned this past week. You will often hear me say something like being in the moment or be in the moment and accepting what is. I've often, if you've listened to the previous episodes, you will have noticed that I try my best to stay in the moment, to live in the moment, and not to live in the past or the future. Obviously, as I've already said, it's important to plan for the future, but in general, with regard to our daily experiences, the best place to be is in the moment. So what happened with, this past week on Wednesday, I was sitting outside in my garden reading, and my cat, his name is Elliot, and I adopted him last year when just at the beginning of the COVID, the animal rescue centers posted a message on Facebook to say that if people could adopt some animals, it would be really helpful, because there were so many animals that had been abandoned. And to make a long story short, I adopted Elliot. He is a wonderful cat, and we are inseparable. Really, he is. I adore him, and he adores me. And since last year, we've become very close. So last Wednesday, as I said, I was sitting in my garden reading, and he was on my lap, and he purred, and we cuddled, and it was a lovely moment. And then at one point I decided to go into the house. Normally he comes, we enter at about 8:30 in the evening. We go inside, and then we stay inside. And last Wednesday I thought I'll just leave him a little bit longer, and then eventually at about 9 o'clock in the evening, when I went to search for him, I couldn't find him, and he is still missing. However, he is in the area where I live. I live in a very small village, so I did see him, but for some or other reason, it's as if he doesn't recognize me, and as if he doesn't want to come home. So this was really, it's hard for me to accept that for some or other reason that I don't understand, he decided to explore a little bit further. Excuse me for waving, there's some flies turning around my head. So first of all, the lesson for me was exactly that, to accept what is, and to allow myself all the feelings and the emotions, to accept these feelings and emotions. Because at one point I started feeling a little bit impatient with the situation. I just wanted him to come back, but I had to accept that he will, and I also had to, he will come back in his own time, and I must also allow him to come back, to return home in his own time. Is it easy? Not at all. I also did a little bit of research on the internet, and one person on a YouTube video suggested that one should call, especially in the evening, call the cat the way you would normally call him when you want him to come in, or when you when you give his food. So that's what I'm doing at the moment. Every evening between 8 o'clock in the evening and 9 o'clock, I go outside. I have a big garden, so I go outside and on the side, because he is in the area. I've seen him several times. He just doesn't want to recognize me at the moment. And then I call him, and I have a way, when it's feeding time, I take a little bowl and I tap with a spoon on the bowl to call him. So that's what I'm doing now every evening, and also at lunchtime, and also early in the morning. So I hope this will help him to find his way home, because as we know, animals respond to sound and to smell. So I hope this will help him to come back home. But it really taught me a lot of patience because I have to have patience now. And it reminded again how important it is to believe, to trust, and to let go. One thing I'm doing is I'm holding him closely in my heart. I'm sending him love as often as possible. And I hope that he will come back soon. But I just wanted to share this experience with you, because it's so important that it's so important to embrace all the experiences we are having, even the ones that are not so pleasant. The pleasant ones obviously are easier, but also when there's kind of an obstacle, or in this instance, at first I tried to understand why he went away, why he did go away from his home, where he has food, a soft bed to sleep in, and someone who loves him very much. But I suppose I'm not supposed to understand. I must just be patient, believe, trust, and let go, and keep him in my heart. That's all for today. Please leave me your comments if you perhaps had similar experiences. I would love to hear about them. And are you a cat lover or an animal lover? I would love to know. Take care of yourself, and see you again next week for another episode of Mikki's Musings and Readings.